The third part is called Bewildered Krishna. This part of the poem explores Krishna's point of view, and through it builds on the previous chapter's ideas of the mind and the ego by discussing the divine mind and the divine state of being. The analogy of how Krishna as a man reacts allows us to understand how Krishna as God sees existence. So within the story framing the poem, how does Krishna see the situation? He is aware that something is wrong. Something is not how it used to be. Radha's love is gone, and so is she. He is concerned about Radha. He searches for her, but can't find her. Where has she gone? Has he done something that has offended Radha? His humorous and playful ways have offended her. And Krishna thinks of his actions, what he has done, and what he has to do. You haunt me, appearing, disappearing again. Why do you deny me, winding embraces you once gave me? Damn me, my wanton ways made her leave in anger. Krishna realizes that Radha is in pain because she feels abandoned by him. Like a concerned lover who sees the beloved hurting because of something the lover said or did, the story in the poem portrays Krishna as deeply remorseful. As he searched for Radhika in vain, arrows of love pierced his weary mind, and Madhava repented as he suffered in a thicket on the Yamuna riverbank. This story inside the poem, on the surface, gives wise advice on how to reconcile estranged lovers. A concerned lover admits when his actions have caused harm to his beloved. He regrets what has happened and seeks to make things right. The concerned lover does not let things as they are, as if the situation will fix itself. The centerpiece of this wise advice is that action is needed. Otherwise, nothing will stop the resentment, which grows worse and worse. Both the lover and the beloved will drift apart more and more, and each will stay in perpetual cycles of agony, getting more painful as time goes forward. How to fix this difficult, derailing situation? What are the actions that can fix a dispute between lovers? First, the concerned lover must reconnect with what made him fall in love with the beloved. He must return to a pure state of mind, one that precedes the negative state of mind. Once that has been re-established, he will admit when he did wrong and apologize. From beginning to end, he must yearn to reconnect with a state of love and to yearn for reconciliation with the person he fell in love with. Why must the concerned lover take such an action to reconcile? Because unification brings joy. The only way to stop the agony of anger and uncertainty is to return to love. Forgive me now. I won't do this to you again. Give me a vision, beautiful Radha. I burn with passion of love. Behind this story and the advice it contains, the poem contains complex philosophical concepts such as the divine state of being. How does Krishna see the world, with its suffering souls, who yearn for him to appear, to incarnate himself into creation, to set things right? Does he not care? The poem affirms that Krishna yearns to save us, because his very focus is found in attraction and attachment. He is moved by our suffering. He is moved by our separation from the divine state of being. Hari's state is painted with deep emotion by Jayadeva. The first Hindu philosophical concept to understand in this chapter is Satchidananda, which describes the ultimate reality known as Brahman, the source and sustenance of all there is. This comes from three words: Sat, meaning being, existence, and truth; Chit, meaning consciousness; and Ananda, which means pure joy or bliss. So Satchidananda is the existence that is contemplated on, leading to the greatest bliss. Krishna's state of being is one where he is forever conscious of existence and of the bliss that connects consciousness with existence. In this unification of being, there is only bliss. In separation, there is suffering. Krishna is conscious of the suffering separating parts of existence from him. Frail Radha, I know jealousy wastes your heart, but I can't beg your forgiveness when I don't know where you are. Existence, or Sat, with all its pleasures and pains, exists only because of Shakti, meaning power or energy, which is represented by the divine feminine, Shri. In this poem, Shri is manifested in the being of Radha. Her arched brow is his bow. Her darting glances are arrows. Her earlobe is the bowstring. Existence contains within it opposites, appearing to be in conflict, but they are completing each other. On the one hand, there is Sukkha, meaning happiness or comfort, and on the other hand, there is Duhkha, which is suffering or discomfort. Her joyful responses to my touch, trembling look at movements of her eyes, fragrance from her lotus mouth, a sweet ambiguous stream of words, nectar from her red berry lips. Even when the sensuous objects are gone, my mind holds on to her in a trance. How does the wound of her desertion deepen? Suffering souls are trapped in uncertainty and suffering, and in this state of Maya, or illusion, they perpetuate harmful actions, which chain them to a cycle of perpetual birth, death, and rebirth. This process is called Samsara. Krishna's consciousness yearns for all of existence to join the bliss of unification, to be one with him. Not just the privileged ones in society. He leaves the ones who have happiness to find the ones that do not have it. Krishna, demon Kamsa's foe, feeling Radha bind his heart with chains of memories buried in other worldly lives, abandoned the beautiful cowherd girls. Krishna is conscious of this cycle of misery, but unlike Shiva, who is another aspect of the divine that remains contemplative with absolute detachment, Krishna is the divine aspect that sees the world with attachment. The supreme God in Hindu theology is one being who has three aspects: creation, preservation, and destruction. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the preserver, and Shiva is the destroyer. This is known as the Trimurti. Each aspect expands how complex this idea of the Supreme Being actually is, and each aspect can be meditated on for different ends. Shiva, for example, is the focus of one who has completed his life's work, perhaps many times over, and now craves to end his connection with existence through penance and asceticism. Since Jayadeva is concerned primarily with finding a way out of the darkness and fear of this troublesome age, he focuses on Vishnu as the one who protects and preserves existence. Each of the aspects contains a truth of the divine reality, like philosophy containing different branches. like speculative theory, but also morality and justice. Jayadeva focuses on attachment, which is Krishna's perspective, because the world is in need of salvation. Lotus stalks garland my heart, not a necklace of snakes. Blue lily petals circle my neck, not a streak of poison. Sandalwood powder, not ash, is smeared on my love-lorn body. Love God, don't attack, mistaking me for Shiva. Krishna must act. The suffering of the world motivates him to intervene, to manifest himself as its savior. The importance of his mission is more valuable than anything we can understand as valuable. I have little use for wealth or people, or my life, or my home. Just as suffering is part of existence, so is happiness. Just as worry is part of the cycle, so is relief. Love must triumph, because it is part of the ultimate reality of Satchidananda. What joins consciousness with existence is love. Love for everyone and everything, which manifests itself as compassion and caring. Love for goodness and beauty, which manifests itself in tenderness and preciousness. Why are the weapons guarded and love's living goddess of triumph? The world is already vanquished. But just as reconciliation between estranged lovers is the best outcome in life, in the same way, reunification between the individual soul and the ultimate reality is the best spiritual end. Krishna vows that his mission will be triumphant. Our games prove your triumph, love.